Hello and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. Happy Mondays. Usually Mondays are not so great, but hopefully with the LCM event, it's the cherry on top. So, sit back, relax, get a drink. If you've had a long day, I hope you're tuning in and you'll find this to be a relaxing session. Starting off today, we have TMO versus Cavalieri. It's the first time we're seeing Cavalieri since we covered TMO yesterday. Silver Slayer, thank you for following. Um, uh, yeah, so I'm looking forward to cast this. Before we do all that, let's quickly get into the captain's interviews and see what they have to say for today. I always get this mixed up. All right, hey, let's go. Oh no. All right, hello, and joining us today we have our captains for the evening. Joining us is Cavalieri Akali. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, and we have also TMO today. We have Emanuele.
Hello.
Hello. So we are followed by TMO's AD carry and Cavalieri's mid lane. Something I want to point out before we get into it. Akali, who will be talking today on behalf of Cavalieri, he has a different name in game, which will be changed soon. It was just an inside joke, but it is something that of course it means more to them than to us. But he goes by Akali. So starting off with you, Akali, what is your team's
Yep.
favorite food?
Um, I'd say pizza.
A
For
nice
sure.
choice. So you are like the Ninja Turtles.
We like to
Cowabunga
cook them.
dudes. Huh?
We like to cook them as well.
Australia. So you are an artisanal team as well.
Yes, yes.
Oof. Invite me once for this pizza. I'm looking forward to it. If I can ask, does your team have any go-to activity before a big game?
Before a game, no, but we
Maybe you
do a lot
personally.
of things.
All right.
Me personally, Spotify.
You just chill out for that day.
Yes.
I'm a bit of the same. The nerves get to me, so I just sit back, read some comic books, and relax on those days. Who do you say brings the best energy on your team?
On my team,
Yes.
hmm. either our ADC or our jungler.
Any shout outs?
Peach White or Bodgar.
All right. So Peach Fight Vodka. Uh, great that you are supporting Team Cavalieri in the energy department. It's always critical to keep our mentals, and it's people like you that save the day. All right. Thank you, Akali. Good luck on your game. Let me ask Emanuele some questions on behalf of TMO. Uh, are you mostly cat or dog lovers? You would say
Um, um,
your pick
I
is of a
think,
cat. If I'm Jifiri. That's one out of five at least.
funnily enough, I prefer dogs
Ooh,
than cats.
traitor.
Don't get me wrong. I have a cat at home. I really love her, but I prefer dogs than cat.
All right.
Um,
Is there any
I,
reason?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I like dogs, I guess.
Okay, not okay. So you like how
No
they?
particular reason.
All right. Wow, that's a bit of an animal racist with Emanuele, but okay. For no reason, he prefers dogs, but that's okay. We accept. Uh, let's see here. What shall we ask you today? Um, who is the biggest jokester on your team? And if you do remember anything what's the funniest thing they said?
Uh, we all have like our moments, but we all say the funniest stuff sometimes, even in game. Um, uh, I think it's either between Red and May. Uh,
Any
I
moment
am
comes to mind?
well, the TMO jokes, I guess. That is basically how we got the name for the team. Um, but definitely, you will see TMO in a huge match for us as well.
I'm looking forward to it.
And he will be played. I am not gonna say which match because they might ban him, which I don't want to.
I hope not.
But we will pick him. But mainly our jokes are based on Timo and that stuff. So
I'm looking
yeah.
forward to it. I'm looking forward even to you guys. Maybe you learned some new lessons yesterday. I know you have a roster change for tonight, a slight
Uh,
change, so maybe it works out better for you guys, huh?
we have a roster change since our captain Hydro couldn't make it today.
Exactly. Yes.
But
Yes. Some substitutes, more than roster
uh,
change.
that's fine. Um, we already have a sub in, so we practice with him. We're doing great. We are confident for the match. Looking forward to play against you guys. I hope you have a good match, and
Kamala.
we really want to establish ourselves as the underdogs in this competition. Mainly focusing on upsetting some big teams, hopefully, and winning every match we can do. And maybe going through the quarters, that would be a great achievement for us. But we would love an underdog story for us. And
I think
don't get
everyone
me
would,
wrong,
especially
who doesn't love an underdog
yes.
story?
I mean, maybe
So,
not the matches, but for sure you have won my heart. I will say that I'm a TMO supporter through and through. I really want to see you guys get a win here and there, and especially I want to see this spicy TMO pick. Now don't tell us too much, okay? Because you might be spilling the beans and it gets bent. So let's keep it quiet.
I can say where we gonna pick him, like the lane,
Oh no
but
no no
I'm
no no
not
no no no!
gonna.
Don't say
I
anything. Just
won't say the match.
no. Don't say
You're
anything.
griefing your own team.
Yes. Here
I'm
we're
not.
just talking about what's your team's favorite food. That's it.
Um, to be honest, I am not sure.
What is yours at least?
Um, either pasta or pizza,
Let's
definitely,
let's go. All right,
Pizza. Let's go.
part of the
definitely,
pizza squad. All right.
exactly.
So guys, handshake.
Handshake. I'm doing it right now.
Oh,
Um,
good luck.
good luck.
Good
May
luck to
the
you.
best team win.
Yes,
Yes,
and
sir.
I look forward to casting this game. All right. Good luck, and yes, I'll contact you for the replay. See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I am back down here. Hey. So this was the draft. I hope you enjoyed the comments made by TMO and by Cavalieri as well. Definitely gonna be a hype game. We can see the first time Renata is being used in this competition. It will be picked up by Cavalieri's jungler here, Ambessa. Looking forward to see how that all works out. Overall, comp wise, I really like Timo's comp. They have a good mix of magic and AD with a nice frontliner like Ornn. Looking for those resets with Viego. And meanwhile, Cavalieri here went more for a pick-oriented comp. They have champions like Camille, Syndra, and Caitlyn that can kind of single one target out even those Nautilus hooks. So I'm looking forward to this. Timo did first pick the Nico. Nico is such a great champion for Red Road Rebel. He's playing supports today, so some role swaps due to the high-tech role. TMO's jungler was not able to make it today. So we do see Where's My Wife in jungle on his Viego. Orianna being picked in mid. This is the substitute. We have Ruby Tide, I believe. Yes, he's playing Orianna. So Cavalieri responded to Nico by going Camille and Caitlyn here, while Timo went Orianna Viego. A good combination together to get off those resets. Cavalieri then lock in that Nautilus to go Nautilus Caitlyn bot lane. And the following bans here: Ari and Warwick from Cavalieri, and Jinx and Jin for Timo, or perhaps so I don't know why, maybe since we already have Caitlyn, maybe it was some misclick, but in the end there Cavalieri do pick up Ambessa, And then TMO go with their last 2 picks, Ezreal and Ornn, to round off their comp, because they need some frontline, right? Cavalier locking in Syndra. So overall here, let's see, Cavalier looking for picks, TMO are looking for team fights. Let's see how the game goes as we get right into it. Alright. So we see some pings already happening here from the side of TMO. I do have the apologies. I need to fix the logos, of course. We'll be back soon. I do see Cavalieri all going down to this bot side. Curious to see if they have any plans here for invade. That's what it does appear to be the case. And it's just gonna be to remove a ward in this case. No, nothing much coming out of this early game as TMO respects hanging out in their jungle. Pretty much just chilling TMO here, full stacking. They warded the entrance to their blue side, making sure their blue does not get invaded on. And meanwhile here, Akali, this guy's name, Saai Gabriel, it's just a joke. It is indeed Akali, Prestige Akali for those that know him. Its name will be changed soon, as I'm aware. But at the time, he will be sticking to his name. Alright, let's see how this goes. Ambessa jungle, looking forward to see how that plays out. Apologies. Let's see this level 1 and Gel Hetsu catches a Manuel Alul off guard there. Huge damage coming out to this bot lane. TMO already facing danger in this bot side. Meanwhile on the top side here, Faker Shoes against Ducky. Faker Shoes definitely did some amazing plays, really good ones yesterday. So some attention here will be on him, making sure he gets the respect he deserves. Meanwhile, both junglers now heading off to their third camps. We see that Ambessa is slower than Viego in this case. While in the bot lane here, another great hook landed on the Ezreal. Manuel Alul in trouble. And that is indeed first blood for Bogdar. It does finish off that Ezreal. Gonna be quickly changing up the positions here for the champions, as I notice we are not all in the right place. Yes, that seems more like it. Interesting choice by Ezreal to go with Tear of the Goddess start. It's not really a common item to see starting. Doran's items typically give you such a great item spike starting off the game. So let's see how that works out for them. Viego is patting towards his bot side as Faker Shoes takes a slight trade here from Ducky Warrior with his Camille. Do see Peach right here just about finishing his red buff. The clear could definitely be a lot better. Viego is now just about finished on his camps. With 10 seconds to spare before Scuttle, he could potentially look to gank Cavalier bot lane. Not much action has happened so far. We do get some question mark pings here from Cavalieri, perhaps citing that Viego might be there. As Viego is spotted on the ward, he will be going to clear the Scuttle. Alongside Ambessa is doing the same thing on her end. So far, some slight top lane priority here from the side of Cavalieri. But it is against an Ornn, doesn't really make too much of a difference if you're Faker Shoes. Meanwhile, both junglers taking a reset here. Let's see what items are bought. Syndra also looking to reset as missing pings go down from Ruby Tide on his Orianna. We are not sure where Syndra is. You could potentially be looking to gank bot if you're from TMO's perspective, but it was indeed a recall. And he will, and Saai Gabriel will indeed walk back to lane. Not using his teleport, such a crucial ability. We see Viego going for the Vampiric Scepter. Not a common choice, I must say myself, but it is the choice made this time. Ambessa does go for the more standard pickaxe route. She will be definitely stronger in skirmishes the sooner we have them. In the meanwhile here, Faker Shoes pushing in the top side, most likely gonna look for a reset, and indeed that is the case. As Viego looking to see if Scuttle is still up, he will go back to clearing his camps. Ambessa now slightly ahead in terms of timers, as he was on his second camp already clearing. Meanwhile, the dragon is pinged here from Cavalieri. So I'm curious to see if Cavalieri bot lane do converge. This Ezreal is really falling behind quickly. Already about 18 CS lead for this Caitlyn. And the Tear of the Goddess is not going to do much in terms of what he can offer his team in these fights compared to what Caitlyn can do with Dorans and double longsword. So definitely a good call from Cavalieri. But where's my wife getting caught here by the Syndra combo? As the TMO will be checking to see if Dragon is being taken. I'd like to see more of what's going on here, please. Instead of top lane, we do see Syndra slightly zoning out, and the Dragon will be secured by Cavalieri. So well played there on the timer. Not much has begotten out of it from TMO. It is indeed just a straight up win for Cavalieri in this case. We're slowly but surely seeing a slight gold lead here. Oh, as Faker Shoes does engage, he finds the solo kill on Ducky Warrior. Faker Shoes here making a name for himself. And yeah, the Camille is getting spam pinged here. Definitely not fun if you're Cavalieri. That Ornn will be a menace to deal with, as Cavalieri's team doesn't really have many options to take him down. Camille is definitely one of them, but Ornn, definitely not the champion you want to see fed. Emmanuel Lul, you are playing with fire, my friend, but he does save his shift for that specific time. In the meanwhile, Ambessa, Peach White manages to secure the grubs. So far, all objectives are going into Cavalieri's pocket, and that gold lead surely increasing as time goes on. Already a big CS lead here in the bot lane, 53 for Bogdar, 27 for Emmanuel Alul. Definitely to look out for that, while other lanes are approximately on the same pace. The Nico clone here being sent out to get vision, as the Nico mechanic there, it does mean that the clone stays in the bush if you recoil. Not really sure if these kinds of interactions with Nico clone should be allowed, as the hook from Geld Hesu lands yet again. This guy is a legend, he's the Mad Life of Malta. He's hitting all the Qs. A nice little kill there on Red Road Rebel. Bogdar savoring in the glory there, his second kill of the game. And meanwhile here, with this pressure on the bot lane, Faker Shoes is being looked at for a dive potential. Peach White completely whiffing the Ambassa ulti there. Faker Shoes is quite happy to walk away from that. And meanwhile, Where's My Wife with the flash W lands on the hidden Nautilus. The Orianna ult comes out, following by the Viego, and it is going to be a kill for Where's My Wife. The hook lands as well. Syndra under trouble. Is it gonna be a bit too deep here for TMO perhaps? It is sadly the case, as the return here from Ducky Warrior does come back to help out. So does Peach White, and in the end, a great start of the play by TMO, but the return retaliation from Cavalieri was too much to handle. Well played from Cavalieri, showing teamwork makes the dream work. Oh man, Ruby Tide and Where's My Wife, I like the idea here, waiting for their sixes, playing it together. A bit too deep there on Syndra, should have just taken the play and called it a day, especially not knowing where enemy jungle and top side were. Small things to learn on and improve as we go along in the LCM event. Meanwhile, Emmanuel Lul yet under attack once again. This Ezreal is not having a good time. We still have biscuits, we still have potions to use, so why are we within Caitlyn R range under tower? That Tear of the Goddess not really helping out. Where's My Wife now being approached by Nautilus? Ruby Tide quick to respond, as Nautilus has to blast cone away. not much has been begotten out of these skills. We see that all objectives have been going to Cavalieri so far. Curious to see if this next dragon is within their reach, as TMO seem to be protective over it. Ruby Tide has to go for that mid lane to catch it. Meanwhile, it does free up Sai Gabriel to potentially look at his top lane Ducky Warrior, who was not having the best time against Faker Shoes. Alright, so a lot of top lane action. Seems like the directed camera really likes that side. Orianna getting chunked out as both junglers took a reset here, I believe. Yes, Viego almost on his Blade of the Ruined King, and I'm pretty sure Peach White wants the Eclipse here. Small exchange here between the junglers. Let's see if Ambessa has what it takes, and a massive diplomacy coming out. Peach White is almost taken out. The Faker Shoes ultimate comes through, reset on Viego. He will get bursted down though by Syndra, and on the opposite side here we saw Ducky Warrior take down Faker Shoes. We're finding better plays than yesterday. I really like this version of TMO. They're playing so well in comparison, but Cavalieri are being too quick to respond on these plays. Some better coordination coming out from their behalf. And in the meanwhile, in all the confusion, it does secure the dragon for Cavalieri. It did leave Red Road Rebel here trying his darndest best to 1v3 the grubs, but they are showing him who's boss. He does get revealed on the Scuttle Crab. It does mean Nico will not be able to come around and help with these grubs, leaving Where My Wife to fend off and to decide what he can do. You also see Faker Shoes reacting, coming down towards these grubs as TMO are really trying to figure out what's the best course of action. One grub goes down. Peach White here caught in a 1v2. Sai Gabriel trying his best to help, but Peach White does take out Where My Wife. The Orianna coming through, securing Peach White. Meanwhile, Faker Shoes and Ruby Tide looking to take a soft reset here as the last grab is remaining. Red Road is also sent there. It does mean Emanuele is getting zoned off. It's not a fun time if you're this Ezreal right now, as his turret is almost down. 114 CS to 47 in this bot lane. Collector on top. Ezreal is not allowed to lane in this current game. If he ever steps up, he's gonna be a goner. Meanwhile, huge damage here on Ruby Tide as Sai Gabriel and Ducky Warrior seem to make the trade in their respective lanes. Let's have a quick look here at the items. Viego now completing Blade of the Ruined King. We also see Eclipse being finished here on Peach White's Ambessa. Trinity Force on Camille is finished as well. As while I'm speaking, of course, we saw a 3v1 here. Peach White pretty much giving up his own agency just to get that last grab. Is it really that worth it? I wouldn't think so. Your whole jungle is up, but you know, if the objective was to get the grab, by all means necessary, I guess you accomplished it. Meanwhile, Red Road trying his attempts to get his first Nico gank off on mid lane. Not really working out as intended, while Gearheadsu here pretty much shadowing Bogdar, just in case Faker Shoes engages. You do see these plays now going into Bogdar's pockets. That was the idea here all along. Faker Shoes engages the Kerky trap, does catch him off guard. Gearheadsu combos his Q into ult, and the damage coming out from this Collector Caitlyn is just simply too much. Even for Faker Shoes, the tankiest unit already with Sunfire and Steel Caps on top, not being enough to stop this Caitlyn. Rift Herald is now spawning, I assume. Judging by how Cavalieri have been playing, they also want to contest it. They seem to have a very go for all objectives or go home type of playstyle. Amandel here forced to flash from Ducky. The flash pretty much in vain as Camille ult will slowly follow. As we also see Red Road Rebel getting low. The TMO bot lane is not it right now. This does leave Gelhetsu, Bogdar and Peach White to safely secure this Rift Herald. I'm curious to see where it does get dropped. It's definitely a much more balanced game than the last time we've seen TMO play. But this Caitlyn is just so strong. Ducky Warrior now potentially looking at trouble. He does dash away, but Faker Shu commits with the ult. He's still being chased on. Where's my wife? Viego ults, that's a 99% slow. Ducky Warrior's E is just about to come up. I'm pretty sure it does get taken and they have no more ways to catch him. Where's my wife? Still trying to find the pick, but is forced to back off. While in the meanwhile, Cavalieri take the opportunity in dropping Herald mid. 1.5 towers down. It's gonna be tough here for TMO to come back, but they still have some great ultimates. They just need at least an item on this Ezreal. Caitlyn now finishing her Infinity Edge. She's so big, she's so strong. Definitely look out for that. As Dragon now being hovered by the Cavalieri team. We do see where my wife slightly overextended here. Peach White and Gelhetsu get on top of him. As the Caitlyn ult finishes the job there. A bit of a sad day if you are where my wife. Using the mist, it was not enough. Meanwhile, Dragon now spawning. Peach White, Bogdar are on top of things, while Saai Gabriel is zoning them off. Just in case any retaliation here from TMO. Rubitide is on the offense there, getting caught out by Syndra's damage. It's been a slow and steady decline in plays, nothing really too big or flashy, but it did add up over time, and now we are very far away with a 7k gold lead already. Gelhetsu here, failing probably the first hook of the game as Red Road walks away with a sliver of health. Curious to see if we ever have a big team fight here, if TMO get the chance to pull off their comp. They have a lot of ways to get this Viego resets, as we've seen, but the case is, does Viego manage to survive that long before things turn dire? This Caitlyn is so strong, pretty sure she can take down this Blade of the Ruined King. Full damage Viego. He's not gonna have a fun time if he gets hooked even once. Red Road almost finding the ult there. The Caitlyn is just simply too ahead at this point and disappears him on sight. It's not looking good for all pick'ems chosen on TMO. They are fighting for survival right now. As the Ornard comes out, it will get slightly interrupted. Rubitide almost going down. No one tanks the Caitlyn ult. It is a sad day for Rubitide, where my wife oversteps his welcome as Bogdar uses his net to push back and finish him off. Great play here by Bogdar, pretty much 1v2ing them. Definitely the MVP in my eyes, but so far the retaliation here from Cavalieri is just brutal as we are shoving down this mid lane turret. This could look like the end, dear viewers. It definitely looks like a strong push. Baron could be something they want to keep in mind. They don't want this inhibitor, seems like, as the top tier 2 is getting pinged from Cavalieri. Where my wife, being on the receiving end of a lot of these Syndra stuns, he does need to look out for them. He is full damage. Now we see the full Cavalieri reset coming out as Baron is soon to be spawning. I'm pretty sure that's something they also would like to play around, as they've gotten pretty much every other objective on the map. And meanwhile, let's check in back with Emmanuel Alul. How's he doing? He does have that Trinity Force complete, potentially looking for that Manamune. Will it be enough though to salvage this game? I have to wonder. Meanwhile, the Baron here being hovered by both teams. We're looking forward to see how this next fight goes. So far, Cavalry have been pretty dominant over this map, slowly edging out TMO. So let's see here. Sai Gabriel, once again back on guard duty, pretty much poking out the members of TMO before the fight. Faker Shoes here is a bit too deep, allowing his backline to get caught out completely, destroyed here by the potential dive from Camille and the Ambessa here. It does seem like we're skipping Baron, dear folks. We are going straight for this win. It's Ezreal, Emmanuel Elul is the one left standing. An absolute destruction there. The Ornn not in position to tank for his team, and the backline is in a position to get caught out by Camille and Ambessa. It's tough times in this late game. It's been a bit of a stack against them. Red Road getting caught out here by Helvesu, as Where My Wife flashes in for Bogdar, does get the huge shutdown. And this Viego is excited to go. Ducky Warrior engages on Ruby Tide. Knight's coming out as Peach White trying to finish off this game. Where My Wife jumps on top of Peach White, but the shield's coming out, and that will indeed be game. Wow, what a nice game to see there by Cavalieri. Alright, so back to me. I hope you enjoyed the game. It was quite an exciting one. I would like to highlight some moments as I will quickly be going into the analyst desk for some comments here. Hello?
Bonjour. I was just having a look at your stream. It's a bit delayed.
I'm gonna switch to you guys soon, okay?
Sure thing. I'm ready, by the way. It's all good.
Alright. Oop. Excuse me. Let's we gotta watch the stream, of course. And we should
Oh, there you go.
we
Reset.
should be good, right?
Gonna stream it. Just make sure that you can see what I'm seeing.
There we go. Alright guys, we have Thomas. I'm not sure
Hi,
if
guys.
Nan is also gonna join us. I'm gonna leave it to them, and yeah, they're gonna tell us what happened in this game.
So, thank you, Janssen. So this was a very interesting game featuring the first Ambessa pick of this tournament. Seeing as she is a very new champion and still has some tweaking to do, it was a very, very fresh pick, something that I really wanted to see happen. And she actually ended up being a very pivotal champion throughout this game, as we see some later on teamfights getting completely dominated by her. The red team, Cavalieri, decides that the first thing they want to do is set up for an invade. However, seeing Nautilus on the enemy team and being privy, and I would dare say even scared of giving the first blood, blue team decides that it is within their interests to actually set up vision and not stack in this bush. Seeing as the Cavalieri team has significantly more damage with first strike on Caitlyn and with glacial augment on Nautilus, they would be able to absolutely shut down and get as many kills as they would want if they were to get a grab on someone. Instead, TMO decides to stack up on blue, showing some aerobics from Nico, and spots red team where they have to back off. Seeing that, TMO decides to spread out, normal formation, nothing too special. And here I'd like to draw your attention to what happens in this early game setup. So, Ambessa starts off with a blue buff on her bot lane side. This comes into play way later, and Viego starts off on his blue solo start. The junglers dispatch do not need to have a leash whatsoever. This makes them able to start virtually anywhere. However, with vision on red buff from TMO, there you go, there is no doubt that Ambessa is going to start blue. So, red team, Cavalieri, decides that they're going to go for an early game cheese, stacking up in the bush and preparing. Like I mentioned earlier, first strike and glacial augment make for a really powerful strike. Now let's count the minions here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, one of them is Nico. Right. Nautilus goes for the hook, grabs him, and they get a really nasty trade immediately. 1 minute 46, and that's 45% of Ezreal's health gone. He has completely lost this early trade and given away the early game prio. He did not decide to ward this because his ward, if I'm not mistaken, that's right, wait. There we go. His ward, and so was Nico's ward, were used up in this early game invade. So with their aggressive play, Cavalier have forced out all forms of vision and surely established that they were able to pull off this cheese unless TMO were to sit directly under tower. Right, let's keep this going because the first blood is coming very soon. An Ezreal on, a Caitlyn on Ezreal kill. Now let's watch this right here because this happens in just a split of a second. Coming up, the second wave of minions. We are to watch the XP levels of red team. With only 3 minions left before they get level 2, and red team having still a grand total of 7. Sorry, pardon me. A lot more. I'm not sure if I'm good at math with this one. A lot more minions. Cavalieri are sure to get the level 2 first. So they walk up, trying to grab at least 1 or 2 farm from their safety. Cavalier hits level 2 with that minion's death. Start off with the shooting, first strike is procced. Nautilus lands Q on Ezreal, who does not have flash and has not had the chance to level E, as he opened Q. Easy combo and dead. That's first blood for red team, guaranteeing them this early game. However, this was not the end of the bot lane. There was still a chance to salvage this. With the cannon wave coming in, red team, Cavalier, would have had to push out and ensure that they would not be getting the XP and the gold from these minions. Minion walks in, 1 dies to tower, 2 dies to tower, and that's cannon. Skip ahead just a second. And that's right, Ezreal from that death only missed out on 2 front row minions worth of XP from that entire ordeal. So this is still a salvageable bot lane. This is not the downfall of the bot lane. We now continue on to around 4 minutes 30, and this is where what I said earlier about jungle comes into pivotal play. This is the second clearing of the jungle. Ambessa is in her blue, seeing as she's a champion with faster clear than Viego, considering she has dashes in every single one of her abilities and way more damage output at this point in the game. Viego is only walking into his blue to clear out Grump, while Ambessa is already hammering away at it. So what does this mean for us, however? Oh, that's right, 4 minutes 30, 5 minutes is Dragon. Blue team has vision, but that does not matter because their jungler is in Australia. We get on just a few seconds later. The red team pushes out their wave. Ambessa moves, sees the vision. Blue team is alerted. They are aware that they are about to do Drake. They make moves. Syndra gets into position for zoning, makes sure that there is no Scryer's Bloom, places a ward. Red team moves up. That's perfect setup, right? Let's have a look at how the vision looks from blue side. And that's right, they're completely blind. They have no vision over this Drake. Walking in would surely be, so to say, suicide, because their team would get jumped. They do not know where Nautilus could possibly be. He could be waiting right here, getting ready to jump the bot lane. He could be waiting right there. However, they decide to brave it, and they run in. Getting hit by a nice combo from Syndra, trying to walk up. No vision. They decide to walk up even more. Nautilus zones them off. And 3, 2, 1, that's Drake. Right. So, with this in mind, bot lane has pretty much established themselves with a massive gold lead, currently sitting at 1.3 over blue team. Oh, what's this? The first blue team kill. TMO getting a solo bolo from Ornn on Camille. But how is this possible? He's level behind. Oh, that's right. He's ended up having taken some bad trades earlier on. Ornn landing his level 6 level up right as that fight was going on. Goes in for the combo. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4 hit. He hits off the 4-piece chicken nuggets on Camille and manages to cash in a kill. Syndra, very kind of you, thank you, announces to us that Camille has indeed died. Thank you. Right, we skip ahead ever so slightly to the next bit of action that happens in this game. Right, so Nico, right here, is scouring the bushes and uses a very niche trick. Seeing as they have no wards, well, as they cannot walk up forwards actually, because Nautilus would hook them and kill them instantly, Nico uses this trick where she launches her clone into a bush and forces it to recall, factually granting 7 seconds worth of vision. The entire recall animation, just like that, for no cost at all. Spotting Nautilus, he backs off ever so slightly, but then prepares for yet another engage, because the next upcoming kill will be Team Cavalieri. Now, let's watch this double agent play over here. Nico spawns in her clone to tank out the Nautilus Q. What happens here? 200 years of game design. The Q goes right through Nico's clone and hits Nico on the other side, granting him a grab, root, Riptide, slow, headshot, and that's Nico dead. With Nico dead, she ends up missing out on even more XP. Ezreal on his own cannot even walk up for a wave. He's been sentenced to sitting under tower. He's now in the naughty corner of the bot lane. We skip a bit more forward to the next level of a skirmish that we have here. So with red team having had gained a kill and Caitlyn being way ahead with no chance for Ezreal to fight back, there's no point in Nautilus staying here. As a support, he may try to help another lane, seeing as mid lane is currently half health and Nautilus is a very tanky champion. He can actually get a tower dive here. He moves up for this. However, on the parallel side, there is a Viego moving around and going in for a gank. He reveals himself too early, flashes to try and land the stun on Syndra, but his teammate is way too far. There's no way that this follow-up is going to happen on time. Viego gets hit by a stun, another stun, and a 2-man ultimate from Orianna. Finally, a follow-up, a whole 3 seconds late. Those 3 seconds will, however, not be pivotal, as Viego manages to land an ult on Nautilus, grabbing a kill and gaining his form. Having level 6, right here, he can just lock down on Syndra with his repertoire of stuns and get the tower dive. However, this does not happen. Let's have a look as to why. Q, auto attack, and immediately ults. What's that? The W and E keys do not exist on Viego's keyboard. He ults too early, completely forgetting about the rest of his kit, and falls just a grand total of 72 damage short of a successful tower dive. Not being able to deny this Syndra any XP, the Orianna gets killed shortly after by a roam from Camille, and that's that for the mid lane as well. Now that's both bot lane and mid lane ahead, with the jungler coming in with very handy plays, moving down, and the Camille pulling off an awesome play as well. She grabs XP from mid lane, sees Ornn pushing out, and, if I'm not mistaken, TP's right back to the top lane. And that's TP right there. Fantastic. Now we'll look back to the bot lane, where I have previously mentioned that Caitlyn will be ahead significantly of Ezreal, and will be able to solo him on the spot. Just 2 times speed for a second. And that's Caitlyn getting ace in the hole on Ezreal. That's kill 1 of the solo bowls of the bot lane. We skip right ahead to the next pivotal play, where we have blue team actually making a valiant effort to stop red team from making any form of pressure or plays. At this time, red team, Cavalieri, has already obtained 3 Void Grubs, pardon me, almost forgot the name there for a second. Viego shows off his dueling prowess, defeating Ambessa in a one-on-one all-out fight, both of them using everything in their champion kit. Viego, however, again unaware of using all of his keys, dashes straight into Syndra and eats an ult to the face. Not using Ambessa's shields or backing off on time, he ends up giving a kill for absolutely no reason. Back here, we see Camille getting an execute on Ornn and gaining even more prio. With that in mind, both of the important champions in the enemy team, the jungler and the top laner, are completely gone, and Nico decides to go for a roam. With all of the action completely gone in top lane, what could Nico possibly achieve in the top lane? She decides to ward. Oh, and pardon me, I'll have to show this this piece twice. While red team Cavalieri decides to claim themselves a free dragon, Nico decides to show everyone her her determination by trying to solo the Void Grubs. Failing, she backs off, winning just enough time for, yes, that's right, Cavalieri to claim the Void Grubs for themselves. Just a few seconds later, that's another skirmish. Cavalieri gets a kill. That's a kill for TMO. They end up trading, and just a bit later, I guess I have to skip ahead quite a bit more. Avesta comes back to get the other Void Grub, granting 6 Void Grubs to Team Cavalieri. Parallel to that, on the bot lane currently, Ezreal has been pushed even further back into the naughty corner of the bot lane, while Team Cavalieri gets the first tower of the game. With this, he has been truly sentenced to sitting under tower until the end of all time, and is unable to get his lead back. Now, red team here does a classic top lane to bot lane swap. Cavalieri moving Nautilus and Caitlyn into top lane with a clear lead. Camille just grabbing free XP and gold in the bot lane. Completely no hassle, getting easy money, establishing their lead and making sure they can carry it on throughout the mid game, where they might have stumbled due to Ornn currently being very on par with Camille's plays, Camille's gold. Now, Caitlyn here manages to get herself a very good push going. Decides to start poking out Ornn under tower. Nautilus staying right outside of vision. Goes in with the hook, ult, stun, full combo. That's Ornn dead. And 2 plates for Camille and... not Camille, Jesus. Caitlyn in total. I keep on confusing these 2 champions. Considering they're on the same team, it's a bit unexpected. Now, on to the next tower that dies. That would have to be top lane tower. Again, the money going purely to the Caitlyn. She's currently sitting on a full collector and almost on the way to Infinity Edge, currently holding enough money to actually finish the item. She is so far ahead of Ezreal, who's only finishing his second component, that there is no shot that this bot lane diff would ever be cleaned up. We skip right ahead to Ambessa claiming tower in mid lane with the Rift Herald. Getting a charge off. That's right. And Syndra getting another charge off on the second tower. Right. So let's skip forward to the next bit of action over here. This is another Drake, 15 minutes. And, oh, what's that? Viego decides to try and solo the enemy team. He is, however, caught off and ace in the hole, shots, and hits. There we go. With jungler out of the way, this is a surefire dragon for Team Cavalieri, getting the dragon. They then begin with a small fight. Team TMO having the possibility to go and split push somewhere or gain some level of prio. They instead contest and end up missing out on any form of a lead that they could have gained from 3 people having to be in the same place for dragon. Now, with that out of the way, dragon, we move on to the next important play. What's that? It's in mid lane. A failed attempt at taking down Caitlyn once more. Caitlyn getting yet another kill, currently sitting on, like I said, Infinity Edge and the Collector, having a very great lead. She pushes out this mid lane, and, if I'm not mistaken, gets tower here. Oh, is it? Right, pardon me. Boop, 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 boop. Right. So, they decide that they can ignore Ornn here to try and get the tower, however that is not possible. Ornn unleashes his ult, but gets cancelled out of it by Nautilus, being unable to make any form of a counterplay. Caitlyn gets another ace in the hole on Orianna, leaving Team TMO having to defend for their lives, and yet another kill. An opportunity for a tower dive, but one that's missed due to the uncertainty of where Nico could be. And that's them getting tower, easy stun, and Ezreal dying under tower. What's that? Ornn follows up shortly after. That's 4 people dead, leaving only Nico to defend. Now, let's have a look at this very important macro play here from Team Cavalieri. This I'd like to really draw your attention to, if you'd be so kind. They begin to do it, however, are pinged back by Nautilus, who cautions them against this. Now, the reason for this is that at 18 minutes from 17 minutes onwards, super minions are worth 90 gold. This would be a crucial catch-up mechanic that could be exploited by Team TMO in order to gain gold and XP and potentially catch up to master out this mid-game to late-game experience and maybe make the game last longer. Red team opts to leave this inhib still standing, not giving Teemo any chance for a catch-up mechanic, and instead moves on to grab yet another turret in the top lane. Now, they are warded off by Teemo. Okay, they're warded off by Teemo and perform a 4-man recall in this bush. Once again, with all of their items bought and the entire team in one place, they decide to move forward. I skip forward to the next bit of action that we're going to have. That's at 20 minutes here. Right, this right here, it was an amazing play. I was honestly impressed by how powerful of a champion Ambessa is and by how well executed this combo was. Truly, the player, Peach White, has had a lot of experience with this champion in the short time that she's been out and knows how to use her well. Let's have a look here at our star player. Ambessa goes, seeks out a possible play, moves forward when the bot lane is ready to back her up, and blind ults, mind you. There was a blind ult with very minimal vision. Into Orianna. Unaware of what could possibly be in the bush or what could be happening over here on the sides, Ambessa goes straight for it, grabs the Orianna, but is immediately responded to by Nico stunning her and preparing the ultimate. Viego has his W prepared and is about to stun her, but she flashes out. Syndra hits an amazing QE combo, stuns them off. Ornn dies in the background trying to face tank the Caitlyn, who is currently... what's that? 3 items. Meanwhile, Ezreal has been left at 1 item. And Ezreal is almost killed under tower. Just a few seconds later, the Nexus is destroyed and the game is over. With that, I'd like to conclude that this game was won through the valiant effort of the bot lane, through a very concise play and knowledge of Ambessa's champion, and through an overall very well played team stage. Thank you, Janssen. It's right back to you with this one.
Thank you very
Awesome.
much, Thomas. A
Yes.
great and detailed analysis of the game, and we'll be meeting you later on to cover Agony and
Yes.
versus HUJ, which has just been played. I'm gonna go back to
Yes,
my
that's
to my
most
dungeon.
wonderful. I'll be waiting up on that one. Thank you,
Alright.
Janssen.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye. Hello and welcome. So that was an analysis here by Thomas, and we'll be seeing him in the next game as well. In the meanwhile, we will be having a short break to set up the next games that are to come. Just before that, just not to leave you guys with a short stream, I'm giving you the MVP from the previous game. Now, what Cavalier did, they gave me the LVP, the least valuable player. So, yeah. So we're gonna show you an LVP interview, I guess. Yeah. All right. Hello and. All right. Hello. Joined here by Peach White. Hello, Peach White.
Hello, Jansen.
Hello. Just letting you know, chat and people watching, this is the LVP, the least valuable player. He did the least damage because the MVP was feeling a bit shy. It's okay.
He's a bit sick as well, so but yes,
alright.
there's multiple levels to being an LVP. So
what
least
made
damage in the
you an LVP? Least damage.
I'm a team player, so I took all grubs, I took all drakes, I died 2 times to get the last grub, but all worth it.
Feeding.
We smashed TMO or whatever their team name is in 22 minutes.
Why did you ban TMO? That was such a offensive thing to do.
Because we don't care what they want to play.
I see. Alright, well, damn. Savages. Do you have any advice for your opponent?
He can add me as a friend on League and I can give him tips on how to play the game. Specifically the jungler, because he is dog shit.
Oi, 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 oi.
Just kidding,
Um,
just kidding. No, no, no. They tried their best. I mean, the ranks show the difference, but
Ma-
I mean, apart from that, good game. So all good.
Peach White, I'm sure that was just in the spirit of banter.
Exactly.
He said he's gonna be a big jungle div, but here he is, the least valuable player on his team. So first to get benched is gonna be him, I'm sure. Who made the best calls in game?
Geltfutso. I think he. Well, I would say actually myself, because I was playing. We were playing very well in terms of checking or seeing which objective we should go for. So when we first started the game, we said, okay, let's start for Drake. We can force it because we have fed Caitlyn. Nautilus is healthy. We know where their jungler was, so we went for that. Grubs were up. We took all three. So I would say best shot caller would be me, but least damage is me as well. So I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, you can make shots and be in the gray screen. It's not like you are
Yes,
silenced IRL. Why
I
not?
played the game in black and white today.
So see, mela. Well, I have yet to see, but you know, for those tuning in, you've already watched. Yeah, well done, insomma. GG's.
Thank you very
Looking
much.
for good luck for your next games as well. Let's see when are you guys playing your next match? Oh, this week. This was the one and only, right?
We wanted more, but we didn't know that we had to give to you before. So, but it's
Alright.
fine. Next week we'll probably play 3 or 4 games.
Awesome. We'll look forward to that, man. Thank you for joining us, Peach Night. Peach White. Does
Thank you
does
very
the name
much,
have any
Jansen.
significance, yo?
No, I created this account when I was 12, and I've been playing since then. So,
Alright.
and now I am 24. So, half my life I've been playing League. So sad.
And known as Peach White. That's maybe sadder. Okay. Yeah, I'm joking. I'm joking. Strawberry Black
Thank you very much.
is the next name you should use. And see you around, Mala. Good night.
You too. Good night. Thanks, chat. Goodbye.